Once upon a time, in a charming village nestled between rolling hills and a dense forest, lived a sweet little girl named Red Riding Hood. She was known for the vibrant red hooded cloak her grandmother had made for her, and she wore it everywhere she went. One sunny morning, Red Riding Hood's mother called her and said, "Red, your dear grandmother is feeling unwell. I've prepared a basket of freshly baked treats and a bottle of her favorite jam. Would you be a kind girl and take them to her?" Red Riding Hood nodded eagerly, thrilled at the thought of visiting her grandmother. She tied her red hooded cloak tightly, kissed her mother goodbye, and set off on the path that led to her grandmother's cozy cottage. As she strolled through the forest, Red Riding Hood felt a sense of wonder. The trees whispered secrets, and the birds sang sweet melodies. Unbeknownst to her, a crafty wolf had been watching her every move. The wolf had wicked intentions and wanted to reach the grandmother's cottage before Red Riding Hood. With swift steps, the wolf reached the cottage and knocked on the door. When the grandmother asked who was there, the wolf mimicked Red Riding Hood's voice and replied, "It's me, dear grandmother, Red Riding Hood. I've brought treats and jam for you." The unsuspecting grandmother, thinking it was her granddaughter, opened the door. In a flash, the wolf pounced and gobbled up the poor old lady. Then, he put on her nightgown and climbed into her bed, ready to fool Red Riding Hood. When Red Riding Hood arrived at the cottage, she felt a little uneasy. Her usually cheery grandmother seemed odd, with big eyes and large teeth. "Grandmother, what big eyes you have," she said, peering at the wolf. "All the better to see you with, my dear," the wolf replied, trying to imitate the grandmother's voice. "Grandmother, what big ears you have," Red Riding Hood continued, growing more suspicious. "All the better to hear you with, my dear," the wolf said, his tone still unnatural. "Grandmother, what big teeth you have," Red Riding Hood exclaimed, now certain something was wrong. "All the better to eat you with," the wolf snarled, leaping out of the bed. But Red Riding Hood was no ordinary girl. She quickly grabbed a heavy skillet from the kitchen and swung it at the wolf. The wolf yelped and ran out of the cottage, never to return again. Red Riding Hood untied her grandmother, who was scared but unharmed. They both realized the danger of trusting strangers and decided to be cautious in the future. From that day on, Red Riding Hood became even wiser and more careful. She continued to wear her red hooded cloak, not only as a reminder of her grandmother's love, but also as a symbol of her bravery and cleverness. And so, the story of Little Red Riding Hood and her encounter with the cunning wolf became a timeless tale, teaching children the importance of staying alert, trusting their instincts, and challenges with courage.